collective sun, moon, rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers. Welcome to your 8-card draw. What do I need? Shadow read for this, your full moon in Gemini to the new moon in Capricorn, December 2022. I am your reader, Mark Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of During the Circle Productions. Since 1998, 24 and a half years of service at the time of this recording. I'm also the author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch. It's available on Kindle. There's a link in the description box. You can preview it for free if you click that link. And I'm also a creator on Patreon, patreon.com/drawingthecircle. My favorite thing on planet Earth at the moment. Lovely subscription platform, allows me to set different levels of subscription with different gifts and prizes and benefits over there right now. We got Seeker, Human Hero, Angel Witch, Immortal Mystic, God Goddess as one, the top tier. They get everything that I have to offer there on Patreon, putting out stuff every day, but all of my subscribers get to see me every morning via an unlisted YouTube live stream link so they can chat with me. I do it over in the living room on the couch from the laptop, cup of coffee, bathrobe, talking about the day's astrology, the inherent magical applications of that astrology, the spiritual implications, always ending with a little prayer, a little blessing, a little something to send us on our way. It's my favorite way to start the day, and even though it rhymes, I really mean it. As well as all of my subscribers get all the extended readings, the part 2s for the part 1s on YouTube. Yep, there's Vimeo on demand too. You can do that. That's great. But all of my subscribers, regardless of the subscription level, get all the extendeds, past, present, into the future, and there's a lot of them. So we're doing a lot of cool stuff there, doing some recorded Zoom levels, Zoom events there, recordable. We're going to do some parties for the holiday season, some tarot parties, a lot of fun. So if you're interested in the deeper dive, the magic, the miracles, the mysticism, and the mal, seriously, come Patreon on Patreon with the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons. Yeah, you're a Gemini. You can call me Mal. Hi. I gotta have fun with that. You try saying that several times a day and not jazzing it up here and there. If you're new to the channel, though, let's get down to business. 8-card draw is just one card from 8 different decks, getting you clues, tips, and hints about a specific astrological timeline. In this case, a waning moon from full to new December 2022, but not just any full moon, your full moon. So let's look at that really quickly. The full moon in Gemini, like I said, Wednesday, day of Mercury, you're ruled by Mercury, that's a lot. December 7th, 11:08 p.m. Eastern. I am in New York, just in case you couldn't pick up on that right away. And on the way to the new moon, we have winter solstice, Yule, on the 21st of December. And then Chiron goes direct, the wounded healer goes direct on the 23rd of December, the exact same day of the new moon in Capricorn, Friday, December 23rd, the eve of Christmas Eve, 5:17 a.m. So we're going to be in that shadow, the dark moon for the 3 days before the new moon. It's going to be in Sagittarius, and Chiron's going direct. There could be a lot of stuff, particularly because it's in Aries, particularly childish behavior that pops up, not just in yourself, not just in the Aries, but in the world in general. So let's hope it is the season of miracles and the season of lights at that point, because that could be tricky, right? So hence the shadow read, right? The idea of a waning moon is to let go, release, transform, surrender, Dorothy, however you want to see that. I prefer the language of spiritual alchemy, from lead to gold. Lead has 3 more atoms than gold on the periodic table. So since energy and matter cannot be created or destroyed, it has to be changed and transformed, and that's what this gig is about. There are lots of links in the description box, by the way, about shadow work. I just added the one from Byron Katie, the work of Byron Katie, just, I think it's maybe a 15-minute clip, but there's a movie in there, a documentary, The Shadow Effect, all sorts of good intros to this kind of stuff if you're not familiar, so that you can clear the path, weed the garden, symbolically speaking, do the alchemy to then plant a really solid, lovely, I would think, long-term seed at the new moon in Capricorn on a Friday, which I'm going to say is a really good long-term love day because Friday, the day of Venus, but we'll get there. Let's talk about this, right? It is a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs. And cross-watchers, if you apply what's going on here to yourself, you're going to go through some sort of releasing, transforming, which will help the one you are cross-watching for. And Geminis, if you do this for yourself, you'll be really helping do shadow work for the entire Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, because that's how holographic healing and unity works, apparently. Look into Ho'oponopono. It's a lot. And that's a relatively simple way in. But that being said, if you could both feet on the floor if you can, and focus on your breath if you will. I will do my best to help you shift to more golden rather than leaded timelines so that happens for everyone on planet Earth, yeah? Because you take the planet with you, apparently, because there's only one of us here, blah, blah, blah. From explanation to divination, let's make the shift in the still point. Still point. Here we go. Using the Caroline Mace archetype cards, I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine for the Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers watching this video, receiving this reading. What is the dominant 8th chakra archetype? The power they are alchemizing from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy. Their full to new December 2022, changing and shifting, sending down the codes to all the chakras underneath them, shifting what they attract and what they repel, so that hopefully they will no longer of their own free will delay what cannot be prevented. How many lifetimes do they want to keep coming back to do this? Their full to new December 2022, trying to keep a light heart about this. Oh boy, the detective archetype. Oh boy, a wisdom family archetype. There are 9 different families. You can have an archetype, a reason, a season, or a lifetime, or be dealing with a person, place, or situation where there is a detective deal in the air, but it's still your lesson, your alchemy to learn. So written on the card is the shadow attribute. That's the toxic. That's the lead. At the top is the light attribute. That's the positive. That's the gold. That is, you shift this for yourself, even little by little by little bit every day. You're shifting this for the whole world. So you're ready? The shadow attribute of the detective archetype. Remember, a wisdom family archetype. Voyeurism and falsifying information. Gee, I think we got that going on the planet, and you have to admit, Gemini, it is a third house communication thing, right? Gemini, third house, self-expression, communication. So voyeurism and falsifying information. A lot of element of air, the mind here, what you're shooting for. Great powers of observation and intuition. Desire to seek out the truth. Gemini, that's what you guys can be really good at, right? Because you're willing to gather the data, but to do it like a detective. I can't lie. I am so hooked on MC Beaton murder mysteries and Agatha Christie. Like, it's got to be a past life thing. It's ridiculous, right? I even got into some of MC Beaton's romances, the Royal Ambition series and stuff, because there's always a little bit of a crime thing going on there. And, Hercule Poirot, the little gray cells. Yes, he understands there is a mental part of it, but he also knows that he lets his subconscious mind, the little gray cells, do the work, right? So observation and intuition, and each chakra has its own form of intuition, right? So interesting. And the shadow attribute, I always laugh because that's Gladys Kravitz. It's the Snoop, right? Edna, right? Dr. Bellows, if you want to I Dream a Genie, right? Or Amanda, his wife. Yeah, she was definitely Scoper, Prober, Snooper, right? Super Snooper. So let's see what else hits the table. I love the detective archetype. It tends to come to me in reasons, like can come and go in a day, but it has been around for seasons and 2, but it's not a lifelong archetype for me. Read Sacred Contracts, Carolyn Mace. She'll spell that out for you. Whoops, grab the wrong deck though. go. Next 4 chakras down, right? We're going to look at the internal energy, the feminine energy, the goddess energy, the heart, throat, third eye, and crown, which is where the shadow work actually begins, right? Because throat chakra minimum, you got to choose to do it. You have free will to repress it, to not deal with it, to stick it back in the shadow, but then don't be surprised if it pops up in your life and in the outside world. It's just how it works. That energy's got to go somewhere. It can't be created or destroyed, only changed. And that's what shadow work is all about, is alchemizing that. Please take a nice deep breath. Let's go to Tarot Town. As I call upon my goddesses of air, the sign of Gemini, powers of the East, please 1 card in clarity from the Daughters of the Moon Tarot for the Gemini Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video, receiving this reading. Heart, third eye, crown dynamic, spiritual power in the crown, mental power in the third eye, willpower, choices, decisions, spit, swallow, or chew in the throat, and emotional power in the heart. Full to new. December 2022, Shakti the Life Dancer, the Universe card, the World card, the last card in the cycle of the Major Arcana. When it is a Major Arcana card in a 1-card draw, as I do them, it's all of those chakras all together. So if it was fire, it might be throat. Air, it might, a sword card, a blade card. It would be the third eye or the throat. But this is all of them at once. Now look, I highly recommend looking up the name Shakti, because you're going to find, yes, it is a goddess, but it's also an energy, right? And then there's Shakti Gawain, the first metaphysical New Age book I read in mass market paperback on like 1980, blah, 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 right? And there's a reason she chose that name. It's in her autobiography. I highly recommend her series of books, Goddess Rest Her Soul. But a detective really unifying all of those chakras means that, particularly with Shakti the Life Dancer, that they're at the end of a cycle of spirit. They're at the end of some lesson, something inside of them, but certainly the heart, third eye, crown, intuitive voices, spiritual intuition, right? Mental intuition, the spit, swallow, or chew. I shouldn't say that. Let me chew on that for a little bit, or swallow it for now. We'll cough it up later. And emotional intuition, that's pretty powerful, and you can certainly create a lot of stories with that as a detective, wisdom family archetype. But it also kind of says that you've graduated to an extent on the inner, particularly if you are intuitively active, engaging that sort of stuff, or really, really creative, but looking to really find the truth wherever you are. And that could very much be spiritual truth. This is a spirit card. Major Arcana, and a big one. So let's get those lower 3 chakras. The external world, the masculine energy, looking at yourself from the outside in, maybe you from the inside out, looking at people, places, or things. Because lower 3 chakras are relationships in the physical world, as well as the masculine dynamic, the yang dynamic. So solar plexus, your relationship to yourself, your self-image is a noun, your self-esteem is a verb, your honor code, your boundaries, what you will, what you won't, all that kind of personal power stuff. Second chakra, one-on-one relationships with other people and things. Money, sex, power, all of that fun stuff, as well as creativity. Third chakra, the physical body, the physical world, the physical relationships, but particularly in tribes, groups of friends, your political party, your genetic heritage, right? 3 or more, you're involved. It's a tribe. Please take a nice deep breath. Read Anatomy of the Spirit by Carolyn Mace. Still point. Here we go. As I call upon my beloved gods of air, the sign of Gemini, powers of the East, please, beloved gods of mutable air, 1 card in clarity for the Gemini Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video and receiving this reading. Please, what do you got for them? Inside out, outside in, lower 3 chakras. What do they need to be aware of to alchemize the detective in the 8th with Shakti, the universe life dancer, on the inner? This there, full to new, close. It's 2 cards, always with the Gemini reads. This full to new, their full to new, December 2022. Haha. Two of Wands, outside, very second chakra, yes or no, do I want to, do I not? This is my indecision card. But often it's a choice, but sometimes that choice, by the way, can be life-changing depending on what we're talking about here, but certainly looking for the truth. This is Jason of Jason and the Argonauts standing outside of guess whose cave? Chiron, the wounded healer, which goes direct the same day as the new moon, right? So it's a choice. Do I want to take this quest or not? In other words, there is a choice in front of you, but you have what you need on the inside, but it's going to take all four chakras unified in some sort of consolidation, graduation, finishing of a cycle inside of you, where it is then about, if you're seeking truth, spiritual truth, mental truth, to choose the truth, not just what appears true, and emotional truth, but a choice in the physical world. Now, this could easily be second chakra, but that can be about money, sex, power. A choice, a two, a crossroads, but we'll see how life-changing that is, because Major Arcana, the Lover's card, that's really life-changing decision kind of stuff. But let's see. Let's get you a healing mantra to help unify those three. The Matt Kahn Healing Mantra deck. Technically, the Carolyn Mace deck and the Matt Kahn deck are not divination. They're healing systems, and boy, do they work as that. But I'm an eclectic witch. I will use what the divine tells me to use. Please take a nice deep breath. And all of my clients seem to be buying this deck after I give them a private reading with them. So it's good for Matt Kahn too. And hey, so breathe. Still point. As I call upon the ascended masters of wisdom, because we got a wisdom family archetype there with the detective. Please, one card in clarity, beloved Ascended Masters of Wisdom, for the Gemini Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers. Watching this video, receiving this reading, the perfect, specific, yet immutable mantra to help them alchemize this detective in the 8th, Shakti, the universe, Shakti, the life dancer on the inner, Two of Wands in the outer, this their full to new December 2022. Asking for angelic support. My angels respond when I am open and authentic about how I feel. So that's the thing. I'll read it from the bookie book. We got some bookie book reads here. But, you know, if angels make you uncomfortable, because they do make some people uncomfortable, you could say my ancestors respond when I am open and authentic about how I feel, or my guides, or my healers, but we're definitely talking about a what more spiritual, right? Definitely more extra-dimensional, if not extraterrestrial, because, you know, I think Earth is enough for me right now. So asking for angelic support. Let me read you this. It's relatively quick. Oh, but this is one of the longer ones, and I think you'll see why. This is about emotional authenticity. Please take a nice deep breath. Asking for angelic support. My angels respond when I am open and authentic about how I feel. And by the way, no one else needs to know that, because you're doing it to your angels, right? It's more this way than this way. When asking for angelic support, you are requesting solutions from a higher realm of consciousness, right? So not the people around you, not the people next door, right? Yeah, therapy, counselors, all of that is wonderful. But you start upwards. Such a realm of consciousness works in accordance with free will, which everybody has, to help you face your experiences instead of helping you avoid them. This is the choice of shadow work itself. Do I want to delay this healing? It can't be prevented. You're going to heal it sooner or later. It's up to you. You can certainly put it on pause. Stuff about, I would call that swallow, or you could chew on it, think about it, chew on it a little bit, make your choices, or go for it. Rather than believe the cause of your feelings must be changed or eliminated, it is essential to ask your angels for better ways of viewing the feelings that keep getting triggered. And I would think with Shakti, the life dancer, seriously look up Shakti energy, at least, if not the goddess Shakti, because there's a link there for sure. Because each trigger represents a healing, you are more likely to feel the presence of your angels when asking for their help to face your most difficult emotions. Sometimes asking people to do that, to support you in that stuff doesn't always go well if they're uncomfortable with their own, right? And yes, of course, there's therapy and counseling and cathartic breath work and rebirthing and all these healing techniques you can do. But to start there, they will lead you to what you need and usually to whom you need to work with if that's needed. In order to access angelic assistance, it is important to be with your feelings so your angels know where support is needed most. And they're completely non-judgmental. I mean, the majority of angels haven't even incarnated on the planet. They're watching us like a video game. So to say, this is how I feel, they're like, we know, and we love you, so here's some support. Read this, do this, go take a bath, gargle peanut butter, something. Each and every one of us getting our own individual guidance. This mantra is ideal for unraveling the spiritual ego. Ooh, the spiritual ego. I have seen it up front in myself and in others where the ego uses spirituality to divide and conquer rather than unite and heal. Lots of stories. Wait till my autobiography comes out someday. Ooh, I'm going to name names, considering my lawyer will let me. Giving up patterns of avoidance. Oh, come on, Geminis. That is saying, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with this. Oh, look, squirrel, butterfly, right? And being a better receiver, which it feels like in terms of this choice, if you really, really want truth on this, to see this clearly, ask for angelic support because when your nervous system is just overloaded, hard to make choices because your emotions are all at different angles. To ask for the angelic support can come in so many different ways, including an inspired idea, a little tap on the third eye that says, try this, right? And sometimes a book just falls in your lap. It happens a lot. All right, this is good. That's not a womp womp. Because sometimes the feelings you're trying to avoid, and this is just an example, can be love, right? It's like, well, then I'm scared. I don't want to feel that, right? Somebody asks you out, right? And there's a choice, yes or no, just a choice. But if there's a lot of emotion coming up around that, get to the truth of it. Little gray cells. All right, the next deck is the Whispers of Love Oracle by Angela Fairchild. Alana Fairchild is a different one. Angela Hartfield, we're also using her Whispers of Lord Ganesh to remove those 3 atoms as symbolic obstacles in the alchemy here. But this one often turns the party. If this is a romantic thing and it needs to be called out, this is the deck to do it. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Well, that feels a lot more calm and relaxed. As I call upon the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, what is the whisper of love for the Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers? Watching this video, receiving this reading, the piece of information, inspiration, insight they need to alchemize the detective in the 8th, the world, the universe, Shakti, the life dancer on the inner, 2 of Wands on the outer, asking for angelic support. This, their full to new December 2022. Treasure your loved ones. No, that is plural. That is plural. It is important to love others deeply. But, like I said, this could be 2nd chakra. This does put it in treasuring someone, right? Now, you have made it to some sort of completion on the inner. This person, I would think, is involved in some way. Because it's not the Fool card, where you're in that pause before you jump into the Magician, in this deck, the Witch. But with that 2 of Wands, there is a spit, swallow, or chew moment here, which is throat chakra, element of fire. But in your 2nd chakra, this could be an attraction you don't know what to do with. Right? I'm feeling this way. I don't want to feel this way, but angels, whoever, Zan, Jaina, Fred, Barney, Wilma, help. Help. I don't want to feel it, but I will if you help me. So that you can allow that heart to open and treasure your loved ones. Sometimes this is about looking back at the one-on-one relationships that you've had, your relationship with money, your relationship with sex and sexuality, right? It's all that 2nd chakra dynamic. But to then treasure what you have learned. There is the difference between knowledge and wisdom is knowledge plus experience equals wisdom. We all have experiences. Some might be painful and traumatic, but there's an opportunity for gold here to get to a larger, higher truth, a spiritual truth that will allow you to look back and perhaps see the gift, which is what these readings are about, and why our last card down, the Blessed Bee, is actually the gold the blessing, the hidden blessing, the gold hidden within the lead, waiting to be alchemized, really asking to be alchemized. All of life is asking for this stuff to be alchemized, from toxic to healthy, from lead to gold, from pain to peace. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Guess what? It's time for the Divine Animals Oracle. Wonderful deck, amazing book, chock full of information. We're going to bookie book, but I'm only going to read you the verbal description and the magical application, because if you're going to do the shadow work, have your spirit animals and totems, because they're there anyway, might as well. The difference between a spirit animal and a totem is simple as I was taught. All of the dogs that ever played Lassie are spirit dogs that played Lassie, right? That's their spirit. That's a spirit animal. The totem of the dog is the sum total of all spirit and soul energy of all dogs that have ever been. Yeah. So location, location, location. Certainly a difference of intensity. So let's see who's helping you. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Oh, and I have ocean wave sounds playing in the background. Really drowns out when the garbage truck comes. There we go. I was on hold there for a second as I called upon the spirit animals and totems for the Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video, receiving this reading. Please, beloved ones, who walks with them, who swims with them, who flies with them, who crawls with them, offering them the guidance, grace, love, wisdom, and power, and oracle message to help them alchemize the detective in the eighth, Shakti on the inner, two wands on the outer, asking for angelic support to treasure their loved ones, because it is important to love others deeply. What do you got for them to pull this off, do the shadow work, etc. This their full to new December 2022. You got the Ganesh card, the Elephant Leadership. Look, it's Ganesh, and the next card is Ganesh. Is that a double whammy? Let's see. What number is that? Card number 10. I love him. Such an honor to work with that deck. I love that deck. So, just going to read you the first and the last, essentially. Card number 10, Elephant. Leadership is the key word. There is a time to step forward and lead, and it is now. Be the leader in your own life. If you want something achieved, take the lead by yourself. Be the example that others will follow. Do not lead by force, but instead by inspiration. Come on, there's your choice. There it is. Take the quest or don't. Take the quest or don't. Delay what cannot be prevented or not. This is free will, but I would certainly, in terms of whether it's money, sex, power, or another person, pay attention to your second chakra, intuition, which will pretty much answer every yes or no question with either a or right, and that's check back later, right? Meh is definitely a check back later. I mean, it's what we do subconsciously when we look at a menu, but the mind can override it, right? No, I shouldn't be eating that, and the body's saying we really need that. Tricky. It's a language you learn, and into the intuitive language of the second chakra speaks in grunts, and I won't do the exercise of how to do that here, but maybe watch some of the videos where I do. There are three species, that's the species, that's the magic. Elephant magic is powerful, yet calm. It can be used when you wish to have obstacles removed or to move out of a limbo situation. Now, in terms of a limbo situation, I will say that's really more of the Fool card, the zero in between the major arcana of the world, right, the last card, and the Magician, the first card. But obstacles removed certainly speaks to the alchemy here. Elephants are wise and take leadership, which is where their magic is so effective. If you wish to become a better leader, or at least a wiser one, maybe to lead the investigation, Monsieur Poirot, or, oh God, her name just went out of my head, Miss Marple, or you would like to attract such a person into your life, or you're dealing with someone who is a leader, maybe, ask for the elephant to lend her energy to you. Oh, Lord Ganesh, leadership. Well, we'll see how that leader, lead by example, baby. That's how I live. I'm not a political leader. I am a mystic artist, a spiritual teacher, a reader, and a witch. But I was head of a coven for decades. Never again. I'm not interested in leadership politically that way. If I can't do it by example, then I'm not going to do it. Yeah, that's my solar plexus there. So, Whispers of Lord Ganesh. She called him Ganesha with the A, which is completely valid. I'm just used to saying Ganesh. But this is a wonderful book. And like I said, a warm, lovely opportunity to work energetically, vibrationally, mystically with the Hindu elephant-headed god of prosperity and abundance and remover of obstacles, Lord Ganesh. Please take a nice deep breath. Ooh, tingle, 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 tingle. Still point. As I call upon the beloved Lord Ganesh, please, I love you so much, please, beloved, elephant-headed Hindu god of success, prosperity, and removing obstacles, one card in clarity, if you will. For the Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video and receiving this reading, what is your guidance, your grace, your love, your wisdom, your power, your oracle message to help them alchemize the shadow to light, the lead to gold, the pain to peace of the detective in the 8th, Shakti on the inner, 2 of wands on the outer, asking for angelic support as they treasure their loved ones. It's important to love others deeply and then somehow bring that into leadership, and I think that's going to be whether they spit, swallow, or chew in this, their full moon to new December 2022. Positive outlook, element of air, right? How you're thinking about this stuff. Lovely. They put the right cards in my hand. That's my contract, and they live up to their end when I live up to mine. Card number 29. Oh yeah, this is the one like the many faces of Ganesh. I don't know if you can see, like there's the straight-on elephant, but then there are others. Oh, almost like he's leading. So to lead with a positive outlook, one would think, is the way of removing these obstacles. Ready? Breathe in the Lord Ganesh positive outlook. Card number 29, positive outlook. How you feel depends on your own mental attitude. I just said that. Like when you're burnt out and crabby and crusty, it's like not the best time. Not the best time. Ask for angelic support. Boom. The many faces of Ganesh reflect how you feel about the different aspects of your life. Spirituality, health, finances, relationship, and emotional well-being. It is important to remember that circumstances are not good or bad, but always neutral, and that is a truth we don't like. Because we want it to be good or bad, but things change like weather and bloat. A blessing, what we thought was a blessing, can feel like a curse, and vice versa. Yeah. It is how you approach the situation that will determine your outcome. If you choose to see something as depressing, it will be. If you choose to see it as encouraging, it will be. Your mind determines how your day will go. Your state of mind has influence over your body, your relationships, your emotional well-being, and how you view your finances. Now let's just take a pin in this for a second. That's the Gemini gig. You could say, I'm not so much into the angel on one shoulder, devil on the other. That's a little Fred Flintstone. All right. Boop, bloop. But if you say, well, there's the ego on this side and the soul on this one, and the third in the middle is that middle point of Gemini, the personality that has to choose. Maybe that's the decision to choose fear or love, pain or peace, courage or cowardice, right? There's a whole bunch of choices in there, and it is, after all, a general read. So I wanted to say that. That came through. Every day you are so careful when considering what you will eat during that day. You have the opportunity to be just as discerning when it comes to how you think. Mutable air, you're actually better at it than the other 11 signs because you can change your thoughts faster. Not so much Aquarians, no offense. You guys like to pull up and see the larger picture first, just as an example. And Libras want it to all be symmetrical. You can conquer your moods, no matter how bad a mood you seem to be in. Make up your mind that you're not going to be controlled by your moods anymore, which is different than your emotions and your intuition, mind you. Take a moment. If you do find yourself in low disposition, take a moment to acknowledge what brought this up for you. Take positive action to shift to happiness or being positive. Not bad for a shadow read, but that means you're going to be dealing with some things that you might feel like is a womp womp. If you can remember, womp womp, if you can remember that everything has its opportunity. I know, it's cliche AF. We're tired of hearing it. But there is gold within every piece of lead if you do the alchemy. Now, if we could do that literally, the economy would probably crash. So let's keep it symbolic, folks. Let's jump timelines vibrationally. Not that we're in control of it. But, you know, we don't get to choose the options. We get to choose from the options presented in the game called humanity. Yeah. yeah. And every choice we make, you know, another universe splits off, apparently. Quantum, wantum, timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly. Please don't make me do math, but instead let us get our last card down, the Blessed Bee from Lucy Cavendish. We do these blessings for real because they are the gold within the lead. Just a little hint, a little clue, a little tip. Should you do your best to do this alchemy, here's some light at the end of the tunnel and the blessing that's already there, but maybe really hard to see. That asking for angelic support with positive outlook. It's not a double whammy, but elephant next to Ganesh, and they're both Ganesh, I think, is a double whammy. You can remove these obstacles, but I do believe they are mostly mental as a result of emotional stuff, maybe some fear. So getting to the truth, break chains of illusion and set all things to right, reveal what has been hidden and bring the truth to light. Please take a nice deep breath. That was acrobatic. Still point. Couldn't have done that if I had tried. Okay, this took a turn. Thank you, my kitty cats, for the drum roll. As I call upon the pantheons of all pantheons from all traditions, lineages, and cultures, please, the delegation for the Gemini Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers watching this video, receiving this reading, what is the hidden blessing, the lead within the gold, to give them a little hope, a little inspiration, a little angelic support here maybe, to help them alchemize the detective in the eighth. Great powers of observation and intuition with an intensifying desire to seek out the truth, which feels like they have what they need with that Shakti on the inside, universe, the world on the inside, but two of wands on the outside. This is their choice, and it may certainly involve another person. Money, sex, power, second chakra dynamic, but asking for angelic support, because support comes when they are open and authentic about how they feel, and treasuring their loved ones that maybe help them do that. Or maybe this is about loved ones or a loved one, where there is a choice here, maybe even of communication, but they want the truth, or maybe even to speak the truth, and they may have to do that by example. No one else telling them it's okay, that leadership thing of the elephant, but to do it powerfully but gently. You know, you don't got to rip up the village to pull that off, and certainly with the positive outlook to maybe question the thoughts, the work, by Byron Katie, Byronkatie. It's a woman, as you go, wonderful, the work of Byron Katie. There's a link in the description box for them. So please, pantheons of all pantheons, all traditions, lineages, and cultures, what's the hidden blessing? The lead within the gold for the Gemini Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers. This, their full to new December 2022. A blessing to bring prosperity. There you go. Oh, I love this one. She's got like leaf rabbit ears and apples. She's fun. I like her. She reminds me of one of my students from the 90s. Card number 20, a blessing to bring prosperity. And let's keep in mind, if this is about money, that's a ding, 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 ding. But if this is relational, there is such thing as a prosperous and a non-prosperous relationship. Will you prosper? Absolutely depends on you. Please take a nice deep breath. Oh, and at the end of this, once I read this, it's the end of the reading, but I hang out at the end a little bit to release the collective and the cross watchers, usually being goofy. And there's nothing here that really feels horrible. So if you want to hang out for the end, please do. We'll have some fun if you're not already. Breathe. Pantheons of the Divine, please transmit. Here we go. A blessing to bring prosperity. A blessing for you so that you will always have enough to support you and see you thrive. Dearest friend, may there be more than that, what it is that you need, yet always let you be appreciative of all the gifts you have been given. May the natural prosperity and gifts of each season be yours. The fullness and wide open arms of summer and its rich harvests. May the falling of the leaves of autumn bring you the urge to let go and bring in and do what must be done. Time of this recording. Let the depths of winter bring you to the richness of the inner light and life. The cold reminding you of the great golden heart at the center of you, and allow the spring to bring you the green shoot pushing through new beginnings. This feels very much the card of the universe, right? The card of the world. May there be plenty for adventures beyond your home and hearth. Very Gemini. Let there be sufficient, so there is always wood in your fire, food in the pot, and light shining down upon you. May the flow of abundance that nature reveals within all of her faces be yours. And whenever there is need, know it will be met again and again and again with the blessings of the universe. For they will flow to you, and you may gather them up in your arms and create more and more of whatever it is that you need, whatever it is that your soul calls out for, which is why this could absolutely be about a relationship with somebody. General read. You will be able to create a home. You will be able to nourish yourself and those you love, and will no longer struggle or attempt to force. Instead, you will enter the stream of plenty that flows all about you and is now yours. Let prosperity, real and true, be yours, and may there be gratitude and charity and generosity from you to meet the bounty of the world that now flows to you. Excuse me. Throat chakra, all your choice. Blessings of prosperity to you, friend. Let bounty be shared and its ways taught, so that all may know the simple secrets of growing enough for all that is needed. For the well-being of all, and with harm to none. As we will it, so let it be done. So mote it be. Blessed be. That's a nice read. And if you liked it, I'm asking you now to hit the thumbs up and like it. Hope the other Geminis find it, because this is prosperity coming from a result of seeking out the truth is pretty much always a blessing. But then again, there are illusions in the way, and this is a shadow read. So if you want more of me here on YouTube, please feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell. These readings are actually being scheduled. I'm recording them, scheduling in advance, because I have to call and see if I'm doing jury duty next week. So that's what I mean. At least you'll get the notification if you want. But if you want the deeper, every single day, no matter what, even jury duty, I will be over on Patreon every morning with a cup of coffee, bathrobe, talking about astrology, a little blessing, and all of that, and having a good time and getting ready for the holidays. I'm gonna do some recorded Zoom stuff there, a couple of tarot parties. Maybe I'll be drinking some sake and what we like to call a drunk tarot party, but we'll see what happens. But certainly I'm gonna tell you, if you need help with this, come Patreon on Patreon, because I'm there every day. But also, if you are interested in a private reading with me, there is a link in the description box called Booking a Reading with Mal. It will explain everything you need to know about booking a reading with me, but maybe we're afraid to ask. And if that is not true, take the leadership. Really remove these obstacles with a positive outlook, because all of my clients walk in feeling one way and walk out feeling better, because they can do it on their own, but I am here to help. I love you. Hang in there. Do the shadow work. Have at it. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.